Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
As you guys saw, we talked about it late last night about the news with the all the Great Britain pound pairs. They had news last night. I think it's bank interest rates. As you can see, what it did significantly sent all the pound pairs all the way up, all of them. So whoever was awake during that time frame, cashed out, cashed out. Look at that, man! Money everywhere. I'm a little upset. I went to sleep. Look at that. G-Chef. EUR USD's in the mix. EUR GBP. Got a little move on that. EUR AUD. NZD, nothing going on just yet. EUR JPY. Let's go look at Bitcoin. Let me get rid of the screen here. Bitcoin, not much of nothing. Ethereum, not doing very much of nothing. All right, gold. Gold trying to push up. Okay, gold. Okay, gold. Gold trying to push up. We'll keep an eye on that gold. We'll keep an eye on that gold. If it breaks this zone, we'll keep an eye on that gold. All right, definitely gold is in a downtrend right now. But yeah, you guys know what goes up must come down. Got a counter trend trade here. Got multiple confirmations from a wedge standpoint here. Let me do something else real quick. All right, zone's broke. There's the channel right there. Got a nice little channel. I need gold to break above this channel for me to look for a buy. So we'll look for that to creep out. All right. So what I did here is I drew multiple wedges, confirmations. So you have a traditional wedge that you see here based on the way that I teach at the support. All right. And then I drew another traditional wedge based off certain key points. And I'm gonna have some advanced training guys on this when it comes to wedges. If you want to learn anything about wedges, the Wedge Kings are the hot guy group. So they're on every day, 7:30 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. So that's, those guys are the best. I've been learning a lot from them myself. But I have this ascending channel right here. As you see here, these two yellow lines here, this ascending channel. So I'm looking for a breakout there and potentially take profit in that range right there. Price hasn't been in that area Yep. See, I drew that line. Didn't even know, guys. Look at that. Touched it once, twice. Didn't even know. Just drew that line right there. Like we talked about before, price repeats itself over and over and over again. I drew that line right there and had no clue. So it was back on January the 18th that price touched this price point. We're already in February. So it's been almost a month since price touched that area. All right. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that one there. S&P 500, not really doing much of nothing. And then XRP been making moves. All right, let's go look at GU. GJ, GCAD, got a down arrow, but nothing going on there. It's at a zone. GOD, nothing. GN, we got an arrow, nothing. It's a bag entry, and we're in a downtrend. We're in a downtrend on GN. Whew. 64 pips on the Asia channel. I like it, but I don't like it. It's a bag entry with a trend. Before we look at taking this trade, I'm potentially looking at getting in a sell on GBP NZD due to a price being in a downtrend. As you guys can see, more red than green, as well as it being a bag entry inside of the money zone. All right, let's go look at something real quick. As always, before we do anything, we need to take a look at the news. I'm pulling up my FX books. Let's take a look at my FX book. I believe today we will have non-farm payroll. So you want to be extremely careful trading. If you're going to trade today, past London session, going into New York, you're going to be very careful because of non-farm payroll. Non-farm payroll is happens once a month where the U.S. Reports their unemployment numbers. So we got Euro news in 25 minutes, 40 minutes, GDP news in 1 hour, 10 minutes, but it's all green. 6 hours, 10 minutes is when we have the heavy news. And yes, non-farm payroll is today, 6 hours, 9 minutes from now. All right. So the cool thing about this is if we get a bag entry, 20 pips will put us at the break of Asia session as well. Gavin, man, what you think, man? I don't like it because it's, I'm not 100%. See, GOD is at the zone. GCAD is at the zone. GU has 2 zones for sale. And GJ has a zone. That's 4 that have a zone.
Yeah, I don't like it. I really don't like it for the simple fact that it could reverse for sure.
Yeah, got this W formation. It's been in a downtrend for a while. So that market maker cycle, I believe, is over. All right, we'll leave that alone. We'll look at it a little later on. Euro USD, not much going on there. Euro GBP, look like it was trying to break out. Euro AUD, NZD, nothing really going on. JPY, Bitcoin, trying to move up. All right, let's get to some questions. There it is, Q&A blown up. Morning, morning, morning. Hey, appreciate you guys all the love, man. Giving out the birthday shout outs to my daughter. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Merch, yeah, new shirt. It's the gray one right here. As you can see, it's the gray one right here. Bouncer goes, got the AIRO on the sleeve. So like I said, I'm shout out to an AIRO user as well for putting it together for me. Merch is not ready just yet. Talking to him about potential bulk orders so that I can actually be able to sell it to you guys, get it out there for you guys, so who wants it. All right, so I'll let you guys know when it's ready. For our Strat 9 should be coming out. The video, they got to edit it, add the Auvoria Prime welcome aspect into the the video, the first half, the first few minutes of the video, and then of course they got to render it and then put it onto the website. All right, so give some time, should be out. EUR-GBP, I think we went over that one already. Euro-GBP, wasn't much going on with Euro-GBP. Just sitting there. Euro-GBP, we're in a downtrend on the euros. Definitely time for a reverse, but as you can clearly see, it doesn't look like it wants to reverse. We'll see what happens. We started at 2 a.m. We started doing this time frame this week. So we just started. We just started because of that first hour. Usually when we were taking trades, we weren't taking trades until an hour and a half, 2 hours in. So we figured if we moved it back an hour and started an hour later, it would allow for us to get into a lot more trades faster, and even potentially have the opportunity to get more trades, throughout the day of the session. So my broker offers 1 to 500 leverage. All right. If you want to know who my broker is, I can't tell you publicly, guys, because it's considered financial advice. But if you send me a direct message, you can find me on Telegram or Instagram at Nate Got the Bag, and I will let you know which broker I use. But they offer 1 to 500 leverage. There's a zone on the GN on the 5 minute. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Let's go take a look at gold. Is gold breaking out? What are we doing with gold? Nope. See, I thought about buying it, but again, that's where I continue to draw up, those levels. So, so I'm waiting for it to break above this level here. Euro NZD. Oh, we got a signal on the 5 minute. All right, so that's where that will go. That's why I drew that channel right there. We'll wait for it to break above the channel for the breakout. I like breakout strategies. If you haven't figured out, guys, I like breakouts. Same thing with Calvin. We like those breakouts. Ethereum, Bitcoin, they're trying to push. Nothing going on. So someone wants to know about the most effective way to reboot. All right. So there are a couple ways to do it. All right. So there are 2 ways to do it. Number 1 is if you close your, let me go to my other VPS. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me pull that one up. All right, so here, if you close or minimize your screen here, there's a reboot button on the desktop inside your VPS. That's the reboot button. You can hit that and reboot the system. All right. Now, the most effective way, from what IT tells me, is in the back office. All right. And actually, let me show you real quick on that one, real quick. So when you reboot, you also, after you reboot, when you come back, you also want to do your Windows updates. So every weekend, at least once a week, I recommend it on the weekends, Friday night, Saturday, reboot, and then come back and do a Windows update to make sure you have the up-to-date version. All right. Now let me log into the website because I'll show you guys on the website. IT recommends rebooting through the back office as it is supposed to be more effective. All right. All right, share my screen here. All right, here we go. We're in the back office. So when you log into Auvoria Prime underneath your account, you simply select on this little 3 lines here to pull the menu tab out. Then you go to AP Marketplace, select Switch Tools. It brings you to this screen here. You should have AIRO selected as your software, or one of your softwares if you have more than one. Select Launch VPS. It's going to open up another tab for you. Go down here where it says VPS accounts, select the drop down, click on Access Pass Running. You can skip all that. And then right here, reboot your VPS. Select that and then hit OK. All right. When you do that, that is supposed to be the most effective. So if you do both, you should be in the clear when it comes to rebooting your VPS. All right. Appreciate the birthday wishes, everybody. Appreciate the birthday wishes. Baby girl had a good day. Tomorrow she's got another birthday party at daycare, and then we have the official party on Saturday for her. Your birthday as well. Well, hey, birthday twins. Happy birthday to you. GC nearing a potential Asia breakout. Let's take a look at GC. Make sure I do this right. GCAT. It's got to break through the zone first. G-Pair is trying to move down a little bit. We'll see what happens with him. I'm watching. The other GC as well, G-Chef. Oh, it's got a little ways to go on G-Chef, though. But they're trying to push. Not bad, not bad. SPX 500. I ain't touching that. Go trying to push. Go trying to push. Somebody keep an eye on that one. Somebody keep an eye. Somebody keep an eye. New candle, trying to push. If it closes above this, on this 5-minute candle, I will be getting into a buy, personally. All right. Hopefully you didn't get into the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and you guys see them zones are there for a reason. Touch, reject, 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 touch, and it's rejecting. Very strong level here. So keep an eye on it, keep an eye on it. Somebody keep an eye on them G pairs. Yeah, we're watching all G pairs. All right, watching all G pairs right now. All right, is there a minimum amount of money required to trade crypto on your broker? $50 is the minimum required to deposit. That's all you need. So the minimum required to deposit. All right. The next AIRO update, I'm looking to put it out this weekend. So the next AIRO update, I'm looking to put out this weekend. We have a new version of AIRO plus, version 4 plus up also. We've tried to optimize the current version as well some more. So trying to put in all of the work. All right, great. Somebody's already in GN and in profit. Well, we try to optimize. I've got people working with me to help optimize AIRO a lot more to make it more seamless and less. What's the word? Less stressful on the actual VPS itself. All right. GN trying to push down. Somebody's already in it. Shout out to you for being in profit. GCAT. Yep. Go rejected. It's a strong level there. We need that break. Need that break. So someone asked about another resource outside of AP Academy that would be good to learn about Forex and how to trade. I would recommend babypips.com. All right. www.babypips.com. I'm going to put that into the chat. Copy. As well as answer your question. So babypips.com is a great resource. All right. To go and learn, about trading Forex. All right. To learn about wedges, again, you can watch strategy video number 7, but then also the Hawkeye group. They're on between 7:30 Eastern and 9 a.m. Eastern. Hey, we actually got one of the Hawkeye members on the call. Give me 1 second here. Let me bring them on board. But they are a great resource. They are the kings of the wedges. Some of the trainings I've learned on, wedges, they're great. Learn from the man himself. Matt, go ahead and talk to him about the wedges a little bit, man.
Hey, good morning. I hope everyone's doing well. My voice is not 100% right now, but let's give some stuff with some wedges here. Let's see. So actually what's really cool is you got a wedge at the top there. If you make a flat top, you can see that it's just about breaking. What's this currency pair? GCAD?
Yeah, you want to look at this one? You want to look at something else?
That's fine. Do GCAD, man. Mr. Fair. It's going great. Thank you. I really missed you. Hope everything's going well. I loved your presentation. Made me pretty emotional because it was just so powerful. I loved it. So no, from the top, my friend. So make a flat top. You see where your blue line is? So that'll be the top. And then you're gonna go from that low, that big wick low right up a little bit.
This one here?
Right there, yep. And you're gonna go across. Okay, like that. Boom. So you see how it broke out of the wedge. Now it came back up and retested the wedge. Now I'm gonna see if it's gonna continue on the downward. Right now, what you have in your favor is you have that price crossed below the moving average. So now we'll see if it cuts through the zone. If it cuts through the zone, then there's a likelihood that you can actually put a fibbo on this from the bottom of that run, even from the start of the before that green arrow is, all the way to the top, and then you'll see a retracement. Then you can have different take profit levels on that. So if you go to just a little higher, brother, there you go. So you got 23.6, 38.2. Oh, actually, you don't have 23.6, eh?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the 23.6.
Okay. Hey, that's fine. That's fine. Nah, you're fine, man. So you got 23.6, 38.2, 50, and 60, 61.8. Well, 61.8. So it could keep on coming down to those levels before it reverses. What one is it going to reverse at? Not sure. But what I love about AIRO is that it's going to give you those zones as you go down, right? It's going to populate those zones. I didn't have a shot of how big, like what direction the zone is for GCAD. So we're basically what, downtrend? Yeah.
It's even. You got 3 red, you got 3 green, so we're even right now.
Yeah, but if it slices through that, this is looking nice. Actually, I like this.
It'd be a great trade if we can get to the zone.
Yeah, it's got to go through that green zone. And that could be a potentially a really nice trade. What I do like I said again, is your moving average is just overpriced. Your price is under your moving average, which gives a sense that this is your turnaround point. And then you got this trend line that was breached. We'll see if it holds. Sometimes it happens where that trend line, it's not at the right spot. And that's fine, because I'm not married to any specific trend line. It's just the more bounces you have on that trend line, the more valid it then becomes. And then you can you can trust it a little bit more. But I do like this wedge. So we'll see what happens. Simply, we can actually use a stick method as well, because this looks like a fair breakout from where we're at. We could put a stick from, there's 2 ways to put the stick. Oh, I speak French as well. I saw a comment about French. Yes, you're absolutely correct. I do speak French. I'm from East Coast, the East Coast of Canada, from New Brunswick, so I have a little bit of accent. So let's see here. So I just got my other charts I'm doing something on real quick just to see if I can give a little bit of guidance about where this could potentially go. But I like 38.2 on there, you know,
Yeah, I was looking at that myself. You look at 38.2 level, and you
Yeah.
put
Highly probable. Highly probable.
that's a nice level.
Even from a price action perspective, that's been retested a couple times. So I could see that, because that's where you see that that so you have that huge candle up, and then you have that wick, and then the body, and then the wick goes up. Well, that area right here, that's pretty powerful, because that coincides with the previous rejection area.
Yep. I like it.
So it'll be interesting. Look at that. It's fantastic. Got a little community of French speaking Canadians here, guys.
Like Mr. Fair asked a question. Mr. Fair wants to know about the euro. So we understand why the pound pair really made a move yesterday. They had some official bank rates.
Yeah, they held the rate. They held the rate for what is it, 0.01 or something?
Correct.
Yeah.
0.10.
Whatever it is.
Yep. And so that effect, that's what, that type of news sent the price up. But if you go look at the euros, they had a big move down. Euro USD wasn't as jolting, but you can see here, it wasn't all of them. Euro GBP had the biggest move down with it. Let's look at Euro JPY. Yeah, so for the most part, usually like Euro GBP was the only one affected, but that's because GBP is part of the currency pairs, the euro paired with the Great Britain pound. And so, as you saw with the Great Britain pound pairs, they all had a nice, fast, strong, bullish move up. But because pound pair is at the end, it was the opposite, because the euro is the base pair. So the pair that's in the front is called the base pair. That's the pair that's affected. That's the pair that you're trading. In this instance, the euro became weaker against the pound. All right, 5-minute chart. Don't worry about that. And so that's the reason why this pound pair was affected the most. The beautiful thing about it is we were already in a downtrend, so it was a no-brainer. You could have caught that trade. If you missed the first one, you could have got the second one, because it was, we're in a downtrend. Nice move down. Nice strong move down. Let me take a look at Ripple. Nothing. Ethereum. Nothing. Bitcoin. Nothing. Gold. It's not breaking up like we want to. All right, that's fine. So we'll stop sharing real quick. We'll answer more questions here. Hopefully that answered your question there, Mr. Fair. As you guys know, another reason I talk about it often for those who don't know, I picked these 10 pairs because they help out with correlation. Typically when the euros are rising, the pounds are falling, and vice versa. Typically when one gets news, the other one goes the opposite direction in a strong correlating fashion. So it helps to trade, because typically if we know that the pound pairs have been in an uptrend for the week, we know that most likely the euros have been in a downtrend. So easily allows us to do what? Oh, I'm in a GBP JPY trade for a buy. Let me go look to see what EUR JPY is doing for a sale, and or the rest of the euros, and you might be able to catch another trade because of correlation. But also it gives you additional confirmation that you're taking the trade in the right direction. So to count pips on gold, every 10 cents is 1 pip. Every 10 cents is 1 pip. Someone asking about USD CHF. So we'll take a look at it. USD CHF is not a London session pair. Keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. I don't even have it. Oh, there we go. It is. USD CHF. There's nothing going on.
Same story as the previous currency pair we were looking at, eh? We got a big run up, and then we got the you got another wedge there. Same story.
Yeah, potential counter trend wedge here. I wouldn't feel comfortable taking it because I don't trade a USD CHF very often.
Especially not in this time.
And then yeah, during this time of the day. It's about how you would draw it.
Yep.
You-
Yeah, because what I want is I'm looking for 3 touch points on the wedge, right? I'm looking for wicks. I don't break wicks. I try my best to not break any wicks. And if I can find, see that line down there, your bottom line that's your bottom trend line that's facing going up, because it has a touch on the top, 2 touches on the top that where price retested it. Now, once it broke through and it came back up and tagged it, that means that's a pretty solid line. It means that price knows exactly where that line is. Just like in the XRP setup that I showed you, price knew exactly where that line was. It wasn't random.
Man, the XRP setup was beautiful.
Yeah. Like to the pip to 48 cents and reversed and hasn't been up there again. Not yet anyway, right? I mean, it's cycling, right? It's breathing, but it was actually a super nice setup. I was pretty content with that trade. Let's put it that way.
I can imagine. I saw the setup. I almost took it myself, but I didn't. I'm a little upset about that one. It was in the zone for me.
Yeah, that's the thing. There was this big fat zone there, and what I found is sometimes if you have other confirmations, you can take the trade in the zone, but you need to have like solid confirmations.
We might have to create a strategy for that, man. How to take trades inside the zone.
Maybe, because that might probably be a little lower probability than some of the other strategies, but the stop loss is going to be tighter. Because if it breaks through the zone, it's probably not going to come back out and leave the zone again and then come back down in through it. So
correct.
Testing to come could be really interesting to play with. Who knows?
We'll have to take a look at it.
Yeah, who knows?
I'm going to ask some more questions here. Can we go over the gold setup? Sure, we'll go over the gold setup real quick. For me, counter trend breakout. So combination of wedges. So you can see here I have the blue line here, multiple touches. All right. And then you have the downward trend line here to create the wedge with the blue line and gold line. I then create another wedge with this trend line here. All right. So you can see you got 2 wedges within one. But then, for me to understand, again, as you learn, or I don't even really learn, but as you watch other people trade, you may like some things that I do. You may like some things that some of the other educators do. But then also, as you look at the charts more and more over time, you'll start to see things you never saw. So for me, I naturally saw a channel. So you see here, let me just show you what I was looking at. I'm going to clear the chart. All right, so we're going to clear the chart. And we'll start from scratch. All right, so the first thing I did is come down here and to mark where we had multiple touches here. Touches here, 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 here. It went there and went back up. All right, you got touches there and there, almost there. So you see this is a very strong level here, which is funny because it coincides with what? With the green zone. All right. Now you have a lot of touches here. The more touches you have at a certain, stronger that area from a support or resistance area. So for example, price is above this level, therefore it's a strong support level. If price was below it, it would be a strong resistance level because it's above price, but because it's below price, it's a strong support level. All right. Next, I said, oh, I drew that. I wanted to draw a wedge. All right. So I started from way up here, and I could be wrong or too wide. And so I drew my wedge like that. So you can see you naturally had a breakout of the wedge. All right. But I wanted to also draw another wedge as well with this trend line here based off of the current trajectory of what? Of current price. And so I drew a trend line like so. Touch here, touch here, touch here. All right. And then after that, it goes away from what? We're in an upward trend line. You see it's upward, it's heading up. All right. So that's how I drew that. But then naturally, because I understand what I'm looking at, I see something else. I saw a tight upward trend. It's real tight. Typically, when you see a tight upward trend or downward trend, that is considered a channel. All right. And so I drew the channel. How did I draw this channel? Nope, I definitely can draw like that. Drew this channel to where you want to draw it to where you have multiple touches at. So it's not about, oh, he drew it so it looks good. No, I draw it to ensure I have multiple touches, and that's the goal. You see here, touch there, touch the trend line there, touch it there, touch it here, almost touch it there. All right, so we're just looking for a break above that trend line. All right, this channel, you see it's a channel, it's an upward trend line, upward channel. This trend line is heading up, this is heading up, and they're real tight, close together. So we're just waiting for that break above. We get that break above, it's go time. Let me try to make this a little tighter. That's exactly how we had it there. Still got a touch here. See how that wick? Let me zoom in real quick for you guys to see it. But you can see here, started here, it wicked, price touched it, came back down, came back, wicked it, came back down, almost touched there, got a touch almost there. All right, almost touched it there. So it's a nice tight channel is what we're looking at with gold right now. So we can break with some momentum out of this channel. We could look for a nice move up. And I like this area right here. Wick, wick, wick. And you see where price came to this area and touched it and played around before it continued to drop. This is a nice level of resistance. So this is a potential take profit level. All right. Or because we're in a downtrend, you could take the fibs, go from the high to the low. All right. High to the low. And you can see here that a breakout, not too far from the 70, 78, 79. And for those of you wondering why my fibs are a little off, I just rounded it to the nearest whole number. So 78.6 is a 79. The 61.8 is a 62. The 50 is a 50. The 38.2 is just a 38. So I just, I left the 23.6 out. I don't like what I saw with the 23.6. That's another story for another day. But yeah, we get a break above. We could be looking for a TP somewhere between the 62 and the 79 is where I like it. And if you see, guys, the fibs, they match up. Look at the zero line. The zero line is inside of what? The green zone. All right. The 100 is inside of what? Red zone. All right. So they're just natural levels of support resistance. This is just, let you know just how powerful the Fibonacci tool, can be utilized, when you understand how to use it. All right. So we look for a breakout there. We'll look for a breakout, and then once we get a breakout, we'll get into the trade. We'll look for a potential take profit level.
That's interesting. I've got a little something I want to show you with your with gold.
Sure. You want to show your chart?
Yeah, for sure. I'll do it from scratch just so everyone can see the process. But you disabled the screen sharing.
Let me see here.
Should work now. There we are. Super. So you put a trend line here, not knowing that further up it actually tags. So I'm on the 5-minute. So you'll have to follow me a little bit. It's going to look a little bit different. Check that out. So interesting. That's where you had your same trend line. Okay. Now my eyes automatically look down here, because anytime you have a big move down, you're going to have a consolidation. And when you have your consolidation, you can look for a wedge, right? You're going to look for a wedge, and you're going to look for a breakout. So for all intents and purposes, here's your wedge. Here's your breakout. This, when you draw a stick from within the wedge, there's a very high probability chance that from the breakout of that trend line, it's going to go the length of that stick. You can tell that it hit the length of that stick. Now I want to do one more little thing. I'm going to take it from here. Let's try this. Okay. So now we got another little wedge. This is a strong trend line. You want to see how strong it is? It consolidated, it broke, it came back down, it tagged it. And then it might continue taking off. So there's one more thing to show. And even before you did it, Nate, you made me smile, because that's exactly what I saw. Is I saw the channel. I drew my channel a little bit differently. I went from down here to up here. Okay, that's my price channel. And I brought it back down. Now, with this, it adds a little bit more confirmation, because that zone that you were talking about earlier is right here. So for all intents and purposes, if for any reason price could break here, there's more room to the upside than there is to the downside in this price channel. Then this could potentially be take profit 1. If, for all intents and purposes, it breaks out of this channel, then you could put a fibbo on this entire run and see how high of a retracement this is going to be. So just a little bit, it's so similar to what you did. It just made me really happy, Nate.
I'm glad I made you happy, man.
Yep. It's we saw the same thing, just a little different perspective. Myself, I didn't even zoom out that far to get this hit. I just knew that if price rejects these kind of wicks, these are big rejection wicks, right? That's a strong trend line. But look, to the pit, no breaches. And then candle slices through and takes off. And now this is oh, sorry guys, my purple is not, or magenta, whatever you want to call it, is a little bit dark for this, but I missed the wick right here, somewhere like there. So I do like it to the upside, but there's going to be zones here. I can already tell there's quite a few zones, but you know, that's what I see. Here, you take her away, my friend.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. Uh-oh.
What's up?
All right, there we go. Man, this Mac. Sometimes I lose the Zoom sometimes.
Mm.
All right, I found it back. There we go. So let's jump on the charts real quick, guys, and we will go over a few just to see what's going on right now. All right.
Oh, the stick. Sorry. There's a quick question in the chat there. So how do I get the stick that I used? It's just a trend line. Literally. It's just a trend line that I drew top to bottom. So nothing special about that. And you may not have the channel tool in MetaTrader 4. I don't do my analysis on MetaTrader 4. I'm kind of cheating. I use MT4 for the trade ideas. I go look at what the zones are, where the zones are, and depending on the zones, I'll actually draw them out on TradingView so that I could visually see them, and then I'll look for the bag arrow, and I'll put the bag arrow on TradingView. So I take what's on MetaTrader 4, I put it on TradingView because that's how I feel comfortable. So hope that answers a little bit. Sorry for interrupting.
No worries, man. No worries. That stick does come in handy. We just don't have the capabilities to draw the stick on
MT4.
But I tell you guys, we are working on getting AIRO. There we go. EUR/USD moving up. We are working on getting AIRO onto TradingView. Got to work through some things to secure it. But we are working on that. That way, there's an opportunity to use it on TradingView as well.
Really, you're gonna put AIRO on TradingView?
Why not? I'm looking at putting it on TradingView. I'm looking at putting it on NinjaTrader. Those are the
Man, you got me real excited. You know that I'm a programmer, eh? So
No, I know that.
oh, okay.
We're to talk about that, man.
Okay. I've got a couple scripts in Pine, so
Old Pine script.
yeah, which is the language used to
Yep. Throw it on
to
to
create indicators and whatnot. A little different than MT4.
Yes.
Oh yes, and I am very Canadian. You're gonna hear A very often.
Nothing really going on now, guys. I would tell you it could be a slow night just due to the fact that we do have NFP here during New York session, so could be a weird night. I'm hoping we can get a nice little crypto breakout and make up for it. But shout out to crypto, because if it wasn't for crypto, man, we would be struggling right now because Forex pairs have not been moving. We've been eating off of crypto lately. Speaking of that, I have man, what is EUR/USD doing?
What are you seeing? EUR/USD? Okay, yeah. Look at that, how it crossed over the moving average.
Tool. So we have a level of
Oof. Look at that candle, man. That's
a strong candle.
oh yeah, that wasn't playing.
The zone will be gone. I don't like this right here. So I don't see it making the full 20 pips. I see it making it somewhere around the 10-ish range. Could be wrong, but I just don't like Let me make sure we got a few minutes. Let's look at the news. So we already had Euro news come out. Wholesale prices, trade balance, Euro non-farm payroll, which is a green photo news and not red, so nothing serious. And we have no more Euro news for the rest of this week, as you guys know. The foreign exchange market. Well, I'm sorry, we have some in 51 minutes. After 51 minutes, we have some in an hour and 51, 2 hours 51, and after that, we're done until next week. But they're all green photo news, so nothing significant that should come out.
I'm trying to see how high it's going to pop. I still don't see it. It's a weird move from a price action perspective, but I still see it going up a little bit. I don't think it's done going up yet, so I could see it hit that other zone that you were talking about, Euro US.
This one right here?
Yeah. I could see it tag that before it reverses again.
I'd love for it to hit that zone. That's about over 20 pips.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't want to call it out because it's odd. It's an odd move.
It's against the trend, counter trend.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, it's pushing strongly. What is going on right now? What's going on? Your USD is pushing.
Well, that's that pre-non-farm payroll, right? Where
Your JPY is pushing. GBP, JPY pushing up now. Yep, all pound pairs. Gotta try to push. GCAD just sitting there. GOD trying to come down. GN trying to come down. G-Chef.
here, I think for Euro US, it's going to tag 1.1980, and then it'll consolidate there for a little bit.
1.1980.
Yeah, and then it's going to come down a bit, and then it might continue to the upside.
Which makes sense. 38 level, and again, that's what I was saying. I didn't really like it going to that level right there.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really give us the full that we like to look for. Might be the snag, get 10, but that's about
Someone
it.
said gold in the chat. What do we got on gold here, guys?
Gold. We have a big
Ooh.
move.
Ooh, that's the channel breaker.
It blew up.
Yeah.
But it's
Look, 61.8 to the pip, man. Look at that Fibbo.
Interesting. We'll see how that one plays out.
Yeah, that's not random, right?
Yeah, I'm not
I'm not chasing that.
Something's going on.
I'm not chasing that.
I don't blame you.
No, but I'll wait for a pullback maybe, because this is potentially a confirmation that it's going to continue going up. There might be an opportunity to catch a small little bag or something.
That small gold.
I'm sorry.
No bags are small with gold.
No, that's true. As long as you have your right entry and your stop loss and stuff, you're golden. Excuse the pun.
Let me ask some questions here real quick in the Q&A. Someone says I have a bigger support on GBP CHF. So different brokers, guys, are going to give you. Get my video on here. Different brokers are going to give you different zones. So zones may be bigger, zones may be wider, maybe shorter. What's going on?
Did your VPS just crash?
No, I turned it off.
Oh, okay. No, mine did. So I was trying to figure out what's up. There was a question in chat or a comment or whatnot that had Oh, okay, yeah. Around VPS and speed and whatnot. So
Let me see the chat.
I don't know. It was earlier on. If you guys have questions or whatnot, please write them out in the Q&A section, because there's over 300 people on this call, and the chat gets lit, and we can't really scroll back and try and find one comment, right?
So at 2:12, we just had like over 10 people. So there's crash. All right, so we'll look into that, guys. I wonder what that may mean. We'll look into that. Shout out to you guys. Over 300 on the call. This makes 2 weeks straight. Let's keep pushing.
Check that out. So Euro US hit the target and is going. So my target was very conservative then.
Man, I can't find those anywhere. So the guys, this is where you have to start searching outside of is pushing.
Yeah.
This is where you have to search outside of your traditional news apps to figure out what may be going on. So for me, I keep a lot of news apps on my phone to see if there's anything, bombing. Did we go into war? Something. Gold's going up. The dollars are probably going.
But I'm not chasing that.
Look at the pairs that are moving. Euro USD. It's a USD based pair. So something's going on with the USD where the US dollar is going down, because you see here, when gold goes up, that typically means the dollar is going down. Euro USD is going up. Therefore, the euro is getting stronger against the dollar. Something right now, GBP USD is going up. Therefore, the Great Britain pound is getting stronger against the dollar. So something right now is weakening the dollar. It may be some early, as Matt alluded to, some early non-farm payroll news sneaking out, or people assuming that here's JPY. All right, we'll leave that alone. Let's go look at gold. I don't know if I'm going to take this trade because it's so far up already. It's about a 62. And my TP is right here. I told you guys, I think it's going to come right here, this level right here, which is only, it's about 25 pips away. But with this candle being so, how big is this candle here? We still might have to jump into it. That is almost an 80 pip candle. Like, 10, 15, so we can get in and ride it up.
You might take a little heat on this right now, so it might pull back a little bit. Look for a little retrace. It might form a little wedge where it's at, right? And then continue going up.
Yeah.
So remember, anytime you have a major move in any direction, price generally needs to consolidate, or in other words, kind of breathe a little bit. It needs to take a breath, and then it'll generally continue in that direction or reverse. But yeah, price likes to breathe. You're very rarely going to see price do what it did on gold and then continue straight up. Like generally it's going to retrace 23.6, which is the number that Nate doesn't like. So
yeah, the reason I don't like it, man, is just when I learn by patterns.
Mm-hmm.
So, and for me, the 23.6 level has a lot of fake outs, where
it does.
Like rejection and it goes to it. I see it stronger.
It'll go deeper.
Exactly. I see it stronger rejections and reversals off the 38.2, the 50, and the 61.8. So that's why I kind of left the 23.6 out.
Yeah. No, I
left the 78.6 out as well. It's overextended. If it gets there, typically you see it reverse, or most of the time it's heading to the 100. And at that point, it's busted. So I left that out. So these are the only three that I focus on right here for me.
I like that. Could have saved me some money, man. But 23.6, it's an interesting number. Can get you into more trades, but will get you stopped out more often.
I don't like getting stopped out.
No, I get it.
And here on London session, we don't get stopped out very often. We like to win.
I like that.
If you like to win and you guys are winning on this call, let's blow the chat up. Blow the chat up with a bag. If you guys are used to winning and been on this call for the last few months, and you guys are used to catching these pips, throw a bag in the chat. Let's see who's been in here, been winning. Cool. Been solid. That's what I'm talking about. London sessions. There we go. So while we wait for a setup, I want to show you guys a couple things. So I'm going to drop into the chat. Well, number one, before I want to show you guys first is I want to show you guys. I've got clearance from. I received clearance today from our illustrious compliance department that I can now start to share the MyFX book for this account. And I told you guys this account I started off with $304.85, so let's call it 305. The goal is to run it up to $3,000 so that you guys can have a MyFX book link that you can share with your friends, family, to show them what AIRO can do, so that they can then turn around and join your team. All right, so just a little marketing tool for you. So here is the MyFX book for AIRO. This is I call it the 303K account. Let's see here. You want me to log in again? What you mean? It's my portfolio. All right, guys, give me 1 second here. Let me log in real quick. Gold has an AIRO. All right, let's go look at that real quick before I pull this up. Let's go look at gold. So gold has an AIRO. We are in a downtrend though, so that AIRO doesn't really mean much when we are counter trend trading. Another little confirmation, but we'll continue to watch gold. Ripple, Ethereum, Bitcoin.
Hey, Nate, we got a question about how to link your MyFX book to your broker account. There's a lot of videos online how to do that. A quick Google search will reveal that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really simple. So I'm in mine right now. All you have to do is, once you're logged in, let me find it real quick here.
Dwayne caught 20 pips on gold.
Nice. Good catch.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. So when you log in, you have this second, you have the house, which is, like your home. Next is going to be your accounts. I already have one account, but I can go here and add account. So here, you just want to select this here and select add account. When you select add account, and pay attention to this, guys, because you guys are going to want to know how to do this, because me and Calvin have been working on something that we're gonna roll out here in a minute to you guys, so that you can actually be a part of this. It's gonna be pretty cool. But when I add an account, it brings me to this window here. So next I want to do is I want to come to let's see here. This isn't the same way that I did it before. All right. There we go. Hit your add account button. It's going to give you this name here. It says my platform is. You select. You want to come down to the MetaTrader 4 auto update. MetaTrader 4 auto update. All right. Once you select that, it's going to give you all the account information you need. So you can name the account. You then can select your broker, what type of server you have. All right. Your account number and your investor password. Remember, when you receive your email from your broker, they're going to give you your account number, a trader password, and an investor password. All right. So they need the investor password here. Then you hit create account, and then it will create your account, and you'll be able to have an account like mine here. I'm gonna pull mine up. This is the 300 to 3K account, the one that we're trading right now. All right. As you guys can see here, very intuitive. So far, we're up 123.17%. We just started this account last Wednesday, so we've only been running. This is the 6th day that we've been trading this account. Well, 2 weeks. It's called 2 weeks because I do trade a couple of times outside of these calls. You can see here daily, I'm averaging 8.36%. Monthly, we're up 123.17. We've had about 22.91% drawdown, and you can see here the balance 680. You can see deposits 304. All right, no withdrawals yet. We'll make withdrawal when we hit that 3K mark. When we hit 3K, I'll withdraw the $304, and then we'll figure out what the next target is. All right, but it kind of gives you, over the last couple of days, weeks, how the market's been going, or how you've been going. We started off, went up, we had a little slight pullback, and then we've been up ever since then. All right, this is this pullback right here from our entry. This was when I took that loss on that GCAD trade when I closed out, and when you guys held. All right, you can see here AIRO 303K is what I named it. It's a real account, so this tells you it's real money. Tells you the broker spread. I'm trading on MT4. All right, you can come down here and see some more of the tools here of the analysis. Trades. I'm taking 38 trades. You can see here my longs. So I'm 61%. So 11 out of 18 trades I've won when I'm in a buy. But I'm 100%, 20 out of 20 when I'm in sell. The funny thing about this, guys, is I have always been a better trader when I'm selling than when I'm buying. I love to sell. I don't know why. I have a very high win percentage with sales. Buys, mentally, I don't know. Something doesn't click for me there. So my win percentage is not as strong with buys. But you can see there, though, you can see there 31 out of 38 trades. If you do the math real quick, 31 divided by 38, 81.5. So we're at 81.5% win ratio. Pips, I've caught 5,086 pips. 5,086 pips. All right. Mainly because we trade crypto. And that's just in the last week. All right. Lots, you guys know these lots. I've traded a total of 6.26 lots overall, paid out those amount of commissions. So it just kind of breaks everything down for you here. You can come down here as well and see some more information. But this is what the MyFX book looks like. So I'll be sharing the link to this MyFX book in the group so you guys can have this. But then also, for those who want to be a part of the, me and Calvin talked about it, we're starting a special, like we did with the FTMO group. So those who are trading FTMO, utilizing AIRO, we have a special FTMO group. All right. And, there's different ways to get involved in that. But if you want to get involved in the special crypto group, we're going to have a special AIRO crypto group. And the cool thing about this crypto group is simply put, oh, man. Missed that breakout.
Did you see EA? Euro AUD? I just did a write up. I should have mentioned it.
Yeah. No, wait,
so you got a strong wedge break. If you want to put a big stop loss, you could, but
I'm
pretty much out of the bag.
Yeah, not mess with that one now. We missed it. GJG, GCAD, GR.
I have Euro AUD. My target is anywhere from 1.5704 to 1.57. Like just
Right about
right at your zone. I didn't even use the zone actually. I just got other confirmations that are telling me that it's gonna tag that.
It's about 20 pips
Yep.
from where we're at now.
57.10. Yeah, so from 57.10 to 5700 is where I could see something happening.
Yeah. What did that go do right there? Okay. Which is that? That was a little breakout right there. Quick little 25.
Got a question in the chat around crypto group, when it starts and what days and
Oh yeah. So still working on some of the offerings. Real quick, I'm going to put in the group. So what we're going to do is have a special let me show it to you guys real quick. I'm gonna put it into the group so you guys can see it. All right, guys, just put it in the group for you guys to see. It is the Crypto King, and then we'll also have Crypto Queen banners. So once you have verified to have caught 10,000, 25,000, 50,000, or 100,000 pips, send me a picture. And once we verify, and I have to verify it with what I just explained to you guys by utilizing what? By utilizing this, the MyFX book. It needs to be on a real account. If you've caught 10,000, 25, 50, or 100,000 pips in cryptocurrency, then we'll make you a special banner and you'll be added to the crypto group. We're going to have a crypto session with either myself or other crypto traders that we're bringing on board just for you guys. You guys will also have a special crypto strategy just for crypto, just for you guys. And then we'll figure some other things out as well. But those are two things for sure: is special crypto sessions as well as a special crypto strategy that won't be shared. That won't be shared with the main group. So I won't put it on the website as part of the strategies. It'll just be something you have to earn by being diligent and catching pips. And the same thing with FTMO group. Those who are passing the FTMO, those who get verified with a real account, they're going to get into a special group of their own. And that group will also have a very, very profitable, high-end institutional investing strategy that will allow them to be able to maximize the money they make on the FTMO group. So, you start making some of these exclusive group guys, some exclusive groups to help, motivate some people to take things a little more seriously, but then also to reward those who are taking things seriously, and give you guys something to shoot for. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. And as I look at it, just a way to challenge yourself to get better as a trader. Challenge yourself to get better as a trader. That Euro GBP is trying to break the bottom. We have to watch that one. We have to watch that one. That could be interesting. Following everything else, all the euros they're trying to push down. So yeah, that's what the flyer looks like. And again, we'll change it. It'll have
I don't see the flyer.
Should be in the AIRO bag chat.
Oh, in the chat. All right, got it.
The AIRO bag chat. So for the women, for the ladies, it'll say Crypto Queen. It'll be in either red. It'll be probably in red or pink. and then again, your name and how many pips have been verified. So I'm over 10,000, but I just put 10,000 as an example. So it'll be 10,000, 25, 50, 100,000 pips. And again, special group you get into, it'd be a members only. Like you won't even get the link for it. I will have to personally add you to the group. It's going to be one of those exclusive groups. Again, we'll have exclusivity on the calls as well as the additional strategy just for crypto. And we'll see what else we do. Especially we get back to finally doing some live sessions. It'll be a lot of fun. So that's that, guys. Something I forgot to let you guys know about that. That was pretty cool. I like the flyer. Real cool flyer. Dope flyer. Like I said, we'll share it in the group. We'll also share it. Matter of fact, I'm going to delete it. I don't, hold on. I probably need to put it in there, the Crypto Special. Give me a second, guys, here. See how it got to that level, guys? Like I said, and it just kind of played around right there. Got to that level, just playing around there. We just missed that level. That big cannon took us out. Dang, hey, we missed that one.
I'm gonna pause out just for a minute. I might have a potential setup on NAS, even though it's I'm still demo trading NAS. I need to get 100 and some trades in there before I have it all solidified, but
All right, guys, just put all the rules in there. Yeah, everybody's got it. So got all the rules in there and the to gain access to the group, as well as the offerings. And so just there to make you help you guys have something to shoot for. And then when you get to that finish line, you'll gain like I said, the flyer, access to the extra groups. You guys can build a camaraderie, get on there, learn the new strategy that's only for crypto, as well as to be able to help just elevate your crypto trading experience.
EG's breaking down, eh?
Is it EG?
Yeah, the Q&A just blew up. Let's see what goes on. I don't know.
I see it. It's kind of pulled right back, but yeah, I see it. We've got about 8 minutes until the next candle, so we'll wait and see what happens.
Yeah, we needed to close underneath the moving average again, and then underneath that that zone.
Yep.
There's a question in the chat, in the Q&A about how to get into the FTMO group. So
To get an FTMO group, there's 2 groups. We've got just a regular free trial group. So if you're taking the free trial or the verification, just send me proof, DM me, send me proof that you're taking it. I'll add you to the group. And then for those who actually get a verified account, I have to verify it, and then I will personally add you into the new group. So we've got 2 people that have passed the first stage. They have their certificates, and they got to pass the second stage of verification to get their fully funded account. And once they do that, then they will have access to. They'll be the first to get into the group, the special group. So if you want to get into the group that we currently have, just like I said, send me proof that you're either taking the free trial or you are taking the verification or you've passed.
yeah, if you've already got the certificate that you've withdrawn, then what do you think? If you've already been trading it and you want to be in that group?
Yeah, yes. And if you already have made withdrawals, send me a message. Again, you have to be using AIRO. The goal is, not personal trading, but using AIRO, not a personal strategy, but AIRO strategies, AIRO, software, and they've been funded there. All right, we have a lot of success, guys. A lot of people are passing the FTMO free trial, passing the first stage of the verification in 1 trade, 2 trades, 3 trades, first day, second day, third day. So a lot of people are having a lot of success using AIRO on FTMO. Now, if you don't know what FTMO is, just type in FTMO Forex and read about the prop firm that actually allows you. They got tight, strict rules, but if you can stick to those rules, they will give you a funded account up to $100,000 and allow you to trade with their money. OPM, other people's money. All right, we're dead right now. We'll keep it on EG. Keep an eye on EG. You got 5 minutes to the candle. Let me go in here and answer some questions for you guys.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get the bag chat link.
So the fib levels, guys. So my fib levels are the 0, the 38, the 50, the 62, the 79, the 100, the negative 38, negative 50, and negative 62. If you need the fib levels, guys, go watch strategy video number 8, part 1 and part 2. I can lay everything out. Strategy video number 8. We've already talked about it. It will be coming out of not only just a video, but also it'll be on a spreadsheet that shows, on a PDF, what pairs are the best to trade during which time. We've talked about that for the last couple of weeks now, so that'll be coming out. Trying to get that out this weekend. On gold, there is no lot size. I recommend a 0.01 lot size for every $100 that you have in your account. I would cut that in half if I was trading with gold, just due to the volatility. All right, but you trade at your own risk.
And if you've never traded gold before, don't go live right away. Go take a volume of demo trades, see how it moves, understand the DNA of gold as itself, get a winning rate ratio that's acceptable to you, and then potentially you could go live. But if you've only ever been trading the Forex currency pairs, and then you're going to like precious metals, commodities, if you're going into indices, it's a different monster. It moves differently. It's not the same at all. And you can get really hurt if you're not careful. That's not financial advice, right? That's just guidance and observation over the years of coaching people and seeing people. Oh yeah, well Forex works great, and then go into live, going gold, taking the same position size as you would in the Forex and getting smoked in 30 minutes. Hey Nate, I'm having a really hard time finding the AIRO group chat link. Hold on. Oh, okay, it's in the pinned post, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it here.
Going to talk about EuroCAD. Let's go take a look at EuroCAD. Actually, EuroCAD is not even one that I recommend, so we can look at it. But I don't trade EuroCAD. EuroCAD and EuroChef, EuroCHF. Those two I don't typically trade. Yep, let me go add EuroCAD. Man, I think you guys just bring out random pairs just to try me. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Now we got profit. Golly. It went away and I accidentally hit the sell button.
Oh, snap. That one click trading, right?
Yeah, man.
I've done it. Full disclosure. I've done some of that, you know, and some of those end up taking, like one trade I took was on the wrong currency pair. Got my head a little bit backwards. Setup was great, getting ready to go. Boom. I click on the wrong currency pair, take the trade, and came back against me a little bit hard. So I had to exit that with a loss. But clicking errors and stuff, it happens.
And we in profit, so I am getting down in profit. We're not gonna lose on that trade, baby. Yeah, man. That's not the business right there, man.
Nope.
Oh man, I should have held that trade. It's still going down. So Forex crosses, and we're gonna go add EuroCAD. Oh, it's already added. Why am I not finding it then? Am I just skipping over it? Oh, I did skip over it. There it is. EuroCAD. It's trying to break. Looks like it. Oh, EuroCAD's in the zone, guys. We're not. If it's in the zone, we're not worried about that. It's in the zone. So just because it's breaking doesn't mean we do anything. It's in the zone. Euro GBP, we like that one better because it broke through the zone. See, now the zone is gone, but you know it. And this hammer right here is typically a reversal candle. So I'm gonna wait for price to break back down below this line where I had the line the first time. This hammer, typically when you have a hammer at the bottom of a downtrend, typically this is a reversal candle where price typically looks to move upward. So I'm gonna leave that alone right now.
So we got a couple questions in the chat. I'll just address them real quick. Jordan's trying to set up MyFX book. Which MetaTrader 4 version do we need to sign up with? If you're talking about AIRO, it's going to be the auto update one. If you're using any other one, it would be EA. Give me just a sec here. And a question about wedges. When breaking the wedge on the bottom, if it's in a downtrend, you also wait for a retrace to the bottom line before you get in. I think you mean like a retest where it breaks the trend line, it comes back and tags it. That's going to be a higher probability trade. It's just that you're going to miss the trade sometimes where it just rockets out of there. Sometimes it'll break that wedge and go straight to the moon. Other times it'll break the wedge, come back down and tag it. That means that that's a stronger trend line.
I got a question about a high frequency binary trading group. I'm going to start that. So binary, we just approved by our compliance department just last week. And so fine tuning the strategy right now. We will start a beta test group next month. I'll start getting that group together by the end of this month. So if you are interested in testing out binary, and again, now the binary we're going to trade is going to be the Forex binary. We're not going to trade like VIX and boom and crash. None of that. That is illegal, and we will not be trading that. But as far as trading, the Forex pairs, binary, we'll be trading that. That is legal. And so again, if you're interested in trading, being a part of the beta test group, let me know. DM me, find me on Telegram at Nate Got the Bag or Instagram at Nate Got the Bag. Let me know you're interested. I'll put you guys into I'll start a group, put you guys in there for those who are interested. And we will potentially look to, like I said, let you guys get started on that. And the reason why we're going to go with the beta test group is for simply put, being able to test out the strategy, work the kinks out, make sure that the strategy is consistent at a high level. As you guys know, I need to see 80 plus, before I'm happy with it. And so, when we get the win ratio up to a high level, at that point, then you got to ripple with a buy. It's a bag entry, but we're too close to this next zone, so I'm not taking that trade. But once we get the group to the level of win rate that I like and pleased with, then we'll look to launch that live for the company, for the group. As you guys saw here, I marked that level there a long time ago. You guys see it came to that level, and now it's reversing off of it, big time. All right. Reason being, as you look left, it's just a strong level of support here, which means that since price is below it now, it's a strong level of resistance. Hit that price point, reversed. Look left. When in doubt, look left. When in doubt, look left. Other than that, guys, nothing really going on right now. I apologize. I'm sorry we missed the move. But reason being, you never know, guys. So this big candle here, this big push, you don't go chase those. Now, if you want to just gamble your money away, you can. You just never know, especially with gold. It can whipsaw really quickly. Head up, you're in, up 10, and shoo, you're down 100. That's gold. You never know what it's going to do. So you want to make sure you have clear entries. I wasn't expecting gold to push up this hard. I figured it push up somewhere around that 50 level, and we could get in here and ride it up slowly. But it did, and we missed it. That happens. Live the trade another day. Sometimes taking or sometimes not taking a trade is actually more important than taking a trade, because not taking a trade preserves your account to be able to trade for another day. Whereas sometimes you can take a trade when you shouldn't have, and it leads to you taking a loss.
If I can add to that, one of my trading mentors, what he says all the time is conserve and protect capital and then grow your account. So your goal is to protect your capital and then look for potential setup. But if you end the week at the same level or more, then you're a winner. And the vast majority of Forex traders can't do that. They can't end the week with the same amount of money in their trading account or more. So my mindset's a little bit different. I don't go in saying I need to take a trade, I need to win. I'm looking for the best setups. If it shows up, then I'll take the trade. But if the setup's junk, then I'm going to pass on it and look for another opportunity, because I don't want to get into junk trades that are going to cost me capital.
Exactly. But the majority of Forex traders don't have AIRO. And you guys see by the results right here, we don't play any games. Oh, come on now. You can do this to me again. You can kick me out. I was only being gone away for a few minutes. You guys saw the data. 123% since last Wednesday. So we're up. In a week, we're up over 123%. All right? In a week. So, and the majority of these trades are from the London session. All right? Which means that those who've been on the London session for the last week and this week should be, fairly, should be profitable. Unless you've made some losses outside of the calls. All right? All right, guys, here we got 6 minutes until the top of the hour. So at the top of the hour, we will be taking a break. As you guys know, the last hour of the session, we always take a break. Let you guys use the restroom, get something to drink, eat. As you guys see, I haven't had my solo cup with me. I left it in the kitchen. So I'm about to go grab that solo cup and fill it up because I'm pretty thirsty right now. Euro USD is trying to break up. On that 5-minute chart, it's in a zone right at resistance. So I'm not messing with it. You see what price is at right now. It's right there at that level. Where I told you I didn't like it at. That's a level where, tough to break through. It's trying to right now, though. It's trying to. Your GBP is not doing anything. So we're not getting the push down we wanted. Not right now, at least. Euro NZD is trying to push down. That could be a potential good move. We can get a break through the zone. Euro JPY, nothing. Bitcoin, nada. Nothing. And nothing with gold. Like I said, gold came to that level we talked about and just reversed. Let's see if we can break it. If we can break over it, close over it, it could be a nice push up. Could be a nice push up. Let me, I don't think I'm showing my screen. I wasn't sharing my screen. Or was I?
No, you weren't.
Man, I apologize, guys.
I should have told you. I was busy doing a setup on NAS. Just working my way through my demo trades before I go live with it.
Most definitely. So GJ nothing, GU nothing, GCAD nothing. We're waiting. Like I said, we get the wedge set up. We're waiting for it to break the zone where we bring price before price comes down and we look for a sell. GOD, same thing, looking for that break of the zone. GN, same thing, waiting for the break of the zone. G-Chef, same thing. So we got 4 correlating, 4 heading that downward, 2 heading up. So I like those odds right now. So we can get one of these 4 to head down. We might get all of them. We could be in for a nice last hour here.
GCAD zone, one of the guys said that the zone disappeared on them.
Okay, good for them. Depending on your broker,
Right.
Depends on if your zone is still there or not. My broker, I still see it. All right. Euro USD broke. It's headed to 38. We got 3 minutes to the next candle. For me, I wouldn't look to take the trade. It's less than 10 pips away to the zone. So too strong of a move. Kind of like with gold.
You see, let me cut in there, but you see that wedge? So you had your run up and then you got a wedge, you got a flat bottom, and then it breaks up again. That'll be on a lower time frame, but you'll see it. So that's the bottom of your wedge. So it created a base, and then on the 5-minute chart, you'll be able to draw a better wedge because it's a short time frame, but It's not clean looking. It's just the structure's there. It's kind of like a flag pattern, I guess, more than a wedge. This one.
Yep.
So
Nice little flat pattern.
yeah,
Good, got in.
look at that.
Great.
Thing taken out, man.
Got in right there. Nice up 4 pips, 4.5 pips right there, and pushing up. Could get a nice little 10 pip out of that if he got in there. Nice little flag pattern. And flag, you guys see the flag. Here's the stick, the pole, and then you got the flag. And then when it breaks the flag, you're looking for upward move.
Yeah, it's a bullish flag pattern. So here, Nate, question in the chat, probably one that I'd like you to address just so that I would know how to address it myself. Says, I missed the gold trade. I missed out on it. Can you actually, going forward, tell me exactly when to buy or sell? And to me, right off the top of my head, I'm like, well, that's not really what.
Yeah, I'll talk about it. So you missed out. I missed out. We didn't take that trade. Some others in the group took the trade, but I didn't take the trade. Some others may have. Now, whenever on these calls, we will let you guys know if we're getting into a trade. You can do what you want. We're not telling you guys to jump on it. We're not telling you guys to buy. We're not telling you guys to sell. All this call is for is to show you guys how to use the software. And if we see a trade that we like, we'll tell you we're getting into the trade. And if you want to join us, you can join us. And then of course, you join at your own risk. All right, you join at your own risk.
Yeah, because we're leaning to the point where it's potentially can be interpreted as financial advice. If I'm telling you to buy, and you buy, and you get stopped out, well, that puts the blame potentially on me. Maybe the stop loss that you entered was too tight. There could be 100,000 reasons, right? So we don't go into that direction of saying you have to buy now or whatnot. We just say, hey, you know what, go. I'm taking the trade or I'm not taking the trade. On the counter side of all that, just because I don't take a trade doesn't mean you shouldn't, right? Nate's going to take trades I don't take. I'm going to take trades Nate doesn't take. But is one of them invalid on the other? No, we just saw things a little bit differently. Same thing with Al and myself and other people. We all trade a little different and we add our little flavor to things. I hope that kind of addresses all of those bullet points in one little comment. Hey, can I show you guys? Do you have something? I want to show you something that I just did because I was testing, right? And I want to show you how you.
Yeah, once you show it, we'll go on a quick break. Once you show this,
okay. Okay.
Break.
Naz, 1 minute. Okay. We got the sell alert. The sell trade idea. There was a red zone. Let me see if I can bring that up here. Hold on. Just show you that I'm not making this up. So we had the red zone. We had the sell. Let's bring that over here a little bit. Okay. We had the sell. What I did is I went to it. I waited for a confirmation. So I drew a wedge from the bottom to the top. Remember, I had a question earlier that said, hey, what do you think about a specific target? I said, well, listen, you put the stick and then you can wait for it to come back up and tag it. And then you can secure the bag that way. That's a pretty significant move, right? What's this? This is like a $20 move. Yeah, 18. So my entry was right at the break. I got a little bit of heat. So secured 18 pips in the bag. Now, still demo, right? Because I'm doing a volume. I don't run into anything anything new. The first time I used your system, Nate, I demoed the snot out of it for 2 months.
Yep.
Because I'm
trades.
I'm not going to be going into something blind, or just because Nate has a win ratio, I'm not going to take that and apply it right away. I need to get that win ratio in demo first before I start putting my capital in there. But that's just the way I've been trained. We're not gambling here, right? We're using high probability systems. And when you're in demo trading, it allows you to observe more efficiently because there's a lot less emotion in your executing your trade. And so now we're over break, but let's go take that break. How about that?
Sounds good, man. Hey, so
right.
we'll take break for the next 11 minutes. So we'll come back right at 3:15. Let's see if we can't close this thing strong with a couple trades here the last 45 minutes. So I'm gonna turn on some tunes, and we'll be back. If I see anything before then, I'll jump back in the group and jump back on, let you guys know. In the meantime, though, I'm gonna get me something to drink, and then I'm gonna start answering some of these messages you guys have sent me about the binary. All right. right, guys, we're back. We're back. Let's get on these charts real quick, see if we see anything. I apologize if I didn't get to everybody on. I've talked to everybody on Telegram, but I didn't get a chance to get to everybody on Instagram. So I'll get to you guys before the end of the day, or before we get off, or after we get off. GJ, GU, nothing. GCAD, it's playing around. It's trying to break, but it's not really trying too hard. GR just sitting there. GN just sitting there. And then G-Chef, we just got an up arrow for G-Chef, but it's just sitting there. EU went up to the 38 level, came back down. EG trying to break back down. I need to see a stronger break before I get in that. EA, nothing much. Your NZD broke the zone. Your NZD looks good. Your odd is moving down. Your GBP is trying to move down. Your USD is coming back down. We'll keep an eye on that one. Bitcoin, nothing. Ethereum, nothing. Man, they've been giving us pips all day. Nothing. Ripple, nothing. Gold. When you guys see that line of hit that I drew, now look, there's a zone right there. 79 level. All right. Fibs, they match up even with the support resistance zones. Not just because of my zones are special, but that's just natural price. All right.
I've never noticed that, to be honest. I never noticed that until you put your Fibbo over it. That's special.
Yeah, I want to say Jackie pointed out to me that either Jackie or another student, someone pointed out to me that the fibs typically line up with the zones. Got my solo cup, guys. Don't feel bad. I'm not sick. I just forgot it, but I got my solo cup back. And tonight, the special drink is strawberry cran apple. Tastes all right. I like this Euro NZD. Just waiting for a nice little push down. And I hope we can get it with Euro GBP as well. And these G pairs, they all need to break down. We can get a nice little break on these. They're all going to tumble down for significant pippage. Significant pippage. I need the pippage. We need to finish the night strong. We need to finish the week strong. Would love to see 200%. We'd love to see 200%. Let's get in the Q&A box and blew up. Where exactly can I find the shared flyer? What do you mean by shared flyer?
You mean the flyer for the crypto that's posted in the bag chat? Or
didn't know. It might be that. Not really 100% sure. We just gotta Go check the chart. Just got a notification. It's not it's not the 15 minutes. So it's probably on Ripple, Gold, no. Ethereum, Bitcoin. Nope. Must have came from my other account.
Oh, here's a good question for you. So some people draw their fibs using the wicks, and some people use their draw the fib using the candle bodies. How do you prefer to use it?
Wicks, wick to wick is the way that I draw mine. It's the way I was taught, and it's the way that I see majority of everyone trading is with the wicks.
Yeah, and that's where I stand as well. That's where price was at a lower time frame. So if you're putting your fib or your trend line or whatever on the candle body, it means at a lower time frame you're cutting through price.
Correct. The only time I use the body is when I'm is everything else. So if I'm drawing support resistance, or I'm doing wedges, and then the base of the wedge, I'll put at the bodies. I don't put it at the wicks. The only time it's the only time I actually for sure use the wicks is with the fibs. Just my personal preference.
So there's another question around, can you go over how to draw a good fib? Here, let me, I'll share my screen for a sec. Here we go.
Strategy video number 8, guys, as well.
Yeah.
Put out there to help you guys. Strategy video number 8.
So if let's do a different time frame. I was just doing a setup here, guys. Check this out. 1 minute wedges on indices. Okay. 1 minute wedges on indices. Just for the fun. I'm still doing my volume of trades. Okay. So this is not live trading, but let's go check out just the 15-minute here. Let's do some fib work. How about that? So if I wanted to check this, I'm just gonna find a good swing that's gonna give a nice bounce. Okay, here actually. Oh, you're gonna like this one. All right. So retracement. So there's two places you could draw your fib. You can do it from here or from down here, which is more of the origination of this whole swing. So if you go up to here, what do you see? You got, so this is your first swing, right? Your retracement to the wick, it's going to come to 14.6, but 23.6 is where that low is. Anyway, so let's go up to the next one. Now, if you still had the same swing, you can actually keep on following it and look for the pullbacks. So if you pulled it up and you saw a pullback and it rejected 14.6, then that would be another potential trade. And then I just keep on going up like this. This is for an uptrend specifically. Look, 14.6 bounce. 14.6 is a level. Some people don't use it. Let's see if I can just pick a random currency. All right. So here's the origination of the move up to here. So we're at a retracement 50%, right? This gives me a 50% retracement. It might go 61.8, but I would be potentially looking for it to continue up. Or you can actually draw it the other way. If you're going from, if you want to see where the move can go, I'm just gonna find another swing somewhere. So this is a downtrend. So if I wanted to go the opposite way, here I got a wick at the top and to the bottom for this swing. So here it didn't quite hit 38.2 and then dropped. Maybe that's where I should have put it. Oh, yeah, that's where I should have put it. So origination of the move, not this swing. This is going to get a little complicated, but this is the origination of this move. So here, I'm just looking for 38.2 retracement of this, and then another confirmation or whatnot from another way. But that's how I use my fibs. Nate, anything to add to that? Anything to clarify?
Nope. Give me 1 second.
Oh, everyone's saying I'm stealing the show because I was on Dante's session, and then we got the Hawkeye session. Now I'm on this one. Not stealing the show. Just bringing a little bit of value.
That's all it is, to give you guys a different perspective. All right. I'm looking at the charts, guys, so I know what's going on. I'm not gonna leave you guys high and dry. Matter of fact, let's look at the charts real quick to see what I've been marking up and potentially looking at. All right, so we can close the show tonight. So Euro NZD is trying to push down. We've got 3 minutes left in this candle. Ethereum and Bitcoin coming down. If I can get for Ethereum, I need to break this trend line, upward trend line, and this level of support. Once I break that, potential sell. Same thing with Bitcoin. I need to break through both that upward trend line and level of support. All right. Somebody asked about a gold sale. I'm not taking that. Here's the reason why. I look for, as you guys remember, rejections off of the main three, 38, 50, 62. All right, there was no rejection off of those, so I don't. There's no rejection off of that. The rejection was closer to the 79, so I wouldn't look to take that sell. Nothing to going on with XRP. I guess the pump crowd is done, and the G pairs, they're just chilling out, not doing much of nothing. All right, so closest thing we have right now is to EG. You can see it's trying to break, just like EN, it's trying to break down. So we're kind of waiting on those to kind of figure out what they're going to do. EA dropped, so nice big drop there. That's pretty about it, guys. It's just teeter-titting around. We're just kind of waiting. So I like Ethereum. I'll show you guys what I took a sale earlier today, and I'll show you guys what I did, all right, and why I took it. Give me 1 second. Oh, yes. I put the video in the group so you guys saw me trading this live. All right, so I took this drop right here. All right, and so the way I marked it up, simply put, was I drew the trend line here. There was a red zone up here, so we had a zone up here, resistance zone up here. All right, price came down here. All right, I had a bag entry. Broke below the zone, bag entry, broke the upward trend line below the moving average. So I was in. Here. All right, I was in here. Let me go look at price and what's price doing now just to make sure we don't miss out. All right, we're good. We got 1 minute to the top of the hour, or to the 9th till 3:30 my time. So before I finish explaining here, let me just make sure we look at these trades here. EN, yeah, push back up.
Hey, Nate, remember that US 30 that I set up? I don't know. I shared it really quickly when we were doing the fib stuff. Anyway, yeah, hit take profit. So that was a $20 move. It was great.
Nice. Can't get mad at that.
No, not at all, man. Not at all. I got a couple questions about where I decide to put my stick in the wedge. There's 2 points. Nate's going through the pairs to see if we can get another setup. So if you find one, maybe you can share that as soon as you do. Do you want me to share the stick thing? Because I got two ways to draw it, or I can just explain it.
You can. I will say though that they won't be able to do it on MT4. So if they're not.
Oh, you're right.
There is
You're
no way
right.
to do it on MT4 though.
You're right.
Yeah, I'd be using it myself, but I can't use it myself.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, but here I'll just show you from a principle, just real quick. So you got 2 options, and for the sake of this, I'm just gonna bring that out here like this. Okay, just for demonstration purposes. Oh, actually, let's check something. Okay, here. What's this? Oh, Price knows where this trend line is on the 1 minute. How far back? How far back does this trend line remain compliant? Up to about here. Interesting. Okay, anyway. Here is my first stick. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for that tag where the origination of the wedge is to this one. I wouldn't go back here. You potentially could, but the smaller your stick, the higher the probability. And then you put it at the break of your trend line. In this case, I decided to I use this stick here. So the second bounce up to the top of the trend line, and then I put it at the break, and that was my target. There is a question about my exponential moving averages that I'm using. They are 13 and 62. That's an additional confirmation that I use in my trading. And there's also another question. Interrupt me anytime, okay, Nate?
Yep.
Okay. What's the maximum number of trades should I take during one trading day? As many as you can, or as many as you feel comfortable taking. You don't have to trade too. Look at this, guys. Look at that thing pop. Anyway, here's that flag. Here's that flag pattern again. Here's that bullish flag. Same principle. Here's the stick. Boom. Where's it going to reverse? Probably at the stick somewhere. What else? Oh, you cleaned that up pretty quick, eh, Nate?
Yep. While you talk, I usually answer questions and look at the chart.
Ah, that's what's going on. Perfect then. So Angela's got a pretty good question. Are you taking the trades on the 15 minute, or are you taking it on the lower time frame? And that's my reply to that is hold on a sec.
So guys, as far as that goes, Forex pairs, 15-minute time frame, as well as cryptocurrency, indices, precious metals, oil, things of that nature, are all on the 5-minute. All right. Now, if you prefer trading on different time frames, hey, trade on those different time frames. Some people love the 30 minutes. Some people love the hour and the 4 hour. But for the strategies that I teach, 15-minute. and then 5 minute for everything else. So 15 minute on the forex pairs, everything else 5 minute. Matt, I believe when you trade wedges, you're on a 30 minute, correct?
Yeah, well, they're fractal. So whatever happens on the 30 minute will happen on the 15, the 5, and the 1. So the principles remain the same. But I tend to stick with the 15 minute. I really like it. Try to keep everything consistent for this sake. But I was exploring the 30 minute. I just find it's the swing on a 30-minute chart can last like a couple hours. I'd rather be in and out. I'm not super patient.
Yeah, me either, man. Someone said many pairs look like they are primed to go. Yes, so we haven't gotten any trades. So if we don't get into any trades before the call's over with, I will let you guys know what the setup is and what you should be looking for. So we'll go over those. We'll go over that before we get off the call. All right, we'll go over that before we get off the call. All right, guys. No need to be rude. Matt's one of the educators. He's just giving his opinion and answering some questions that people have asked. So no need to be rude, guys. No big deal. He's here to help and educate us. I've personally learned and grown myself in my trading on the wedges, by listening to Matt and talking to him. Believe it or not, I want to say when he first started using AIRO for about those doing that 2 months, I remember for 3 weeks straight, he'd send me all his setups. I remember 1 week, I think he went. Then you go like 77 out of 84, something crazy like that. It was like 77, 78 wins out of 84 trades on with wedges. He's using AIRO. And so, hey, Matt knows what we're talking about. He knows how to trade, especially the wedges. So, if you guys like to trade wedges, definitely Matt is a resource and the guy to go to. My strategy with wedges is very simplistic. But if you want to get a little more detailed and become a lot more thorough at trading wedges, Matt and the Hawkeye group are the best group to talk to about doing so.
If I was to combine the three educators, so from Hawkeye, so Brian, Al, and myself, there's over 50 years of trading experience together. And we've drawn thousands upon thousands of wedges.
It's a lot of years. River trying to make a little move. All right, guys. So someone brought up a good point. I want to show you guys EU. So, you guys know we drew the fib. All right. As you guys know, we're in a downtrend, right? So we're in a downtrend. I drew the fib from the previous retrace, all right, to the very bottom here, all right? And as you see here, price went up. We have a doji off of the 38, which means that we could have been in on a sale here. I didn't even look at that. Looking to take price back down to the zero line, which is about 31 pips away. All right, 31 pips away. And for me, actually, let me adjust it here. I wouldn't have drawn the fib there exactly. I would have drawn it here because this is the previous bottom before the next retrace, which we had right here. And so we didn't quite make it to the 38 in that example there. But if you drew it down to the bottom, which may be the best setup because you didn't really have did we have a close? Yeah, you had a little small close right there above, but that's a good setup. That's a good setup. Euro GBP 5-minute chart. Come on, Euro GBP break. And guys, when the market's doing, just playing around right now, you see Euro GBP hitting that resistance over and over again. Eventually, it's going to do what? It's going to break. It's going to break into the downside. So It's all about having patience. You may get it set up and get a trade. You may not. And that's part of the game. We've been fortunate the last couple of weeks to been on fire and caught a lot of good setups, especially with crypto. Right now, we're not getting a lot of good setups today with anything. Ripple's trying to make a little push, but man, I'm not messing with Ripple right now. Look at that spread. I'm gonna leave it alone. It's got some volatility to it. It's too close to the next zone for me. Too close to the next zone.
Nate, someone's asking if you're trading tomorrow. You don't generally trade Fridays, do you?
Nope. I won't. From my standpoint, I don't trade after London session Friday. So technically, it is Friday, and it's London session. So after London session, like when New York session hits, I don't typically trade New York session. So this will be the last day I trade this week. The schedule's in the group, guys. So the schedule's in the group. I can re-forward it to the group as well, but the schedule's there. It says the schedule for all calls. All right. Schedule for all calls. I believe it's over 30 hours now we have every week now worth of calls. And so the goal is to continue to just add on to that to give you guys more and more value. More and more value is the goal. So right now we're just waiting for G-Chef to break, and it will break with everything else. When G-Chef breaks, GN should break, GI should break, and GCAD. And so what you want to see is GCAD and GI break through these zones before you take anything else. Because if they don't break through the zones, they could reverse, which would then correlate with G-Chef and GN reversing. So you want to make sure that you're seeing GCAD and GI break through these zones, and you can get some nice pushes on all of them. With Euro GBP, you're wanting a solid break. I'd look for a break below this wick. If you can get a break below this wick and price closes below this wick, look out below. All right. Euro odd, it's got a zone there. So it may continue to push down. Same thing, Euro NZD. Look to have a break below this wick. Euro JPY, nothing much there. Bitcoin and Ethereum, we already talked about that. Just waiting for them to break. Wait for the break. Let me go back, and we're getting pretty close here. Let me go back and explain here what I saw earlier and how I caught that 600 plus pips. So we had the upward trend line here. All right. Price broke below it, closed below the moving average multiple times. We had the bag entry because there was a red zone here. It was a counter trend trade. All right. So I held the trade. I got in on this candle here, the one after the arrow. And I held it 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, drop. All right. And for me, my take profit was right here. That level right there where it flattened out. When you see price flatten out like that, you see, boom, boom, and you got multiple wicks, price hit that area and fluctuate around that area for a while. It's a very strong level. All right. And if you look at it, look left. Or you look right. Touch the level multiple times there. But let's look left. If you look left, look at that. Wicked it. Look left. Look at that. Wicked it. Price got to it here, bunched off, touched it multiple times, multiple touches here. All right. So very strong level of support and resistance. And because it was a level of support, because price was above it at the time that I was in the sale, that is where I put my take profit at. And you see, we finally had reversed and came back and got it. For me, I actually closed that early. You guys know me, no patience. So as it got closer to this area here, I had over 600 pips. I just closed the trade out. So I love trend lines, breaks of trend lines. They're very fun to trade, nice breakouts, especially with crypto. So I'm just looking for Ethereum to break below this upward trend line and this level of support here, and then we look for a nice drop, nice after that. U.S. session. I'm not going to draw the fibs, guys. You want to stay out of the markets. You have during U.S. session non-FAR payroll. So I'm not even going to show you anything because I don't want you guys to get tempted to take any setups. Non-FAR payroll. I'm telling you, I'm going to give you guys a quick story about non-FAR payroll. All right. Non-farm payroll is where the government, the U.S. government, announces the unemployment numbers, for the for America, and so this can send price moving in a very quick pace. This is the some of the most volatile news you'll have. FOMC is pretty volatile, but for the most part, this is some of the most volatile news you can have. It happens once a month. I had a $3,000 account. This is after I lost my first $5,000 trading Forex. So I lost $5,000 my first 3 months. Didn't know what I was doing. I tell you guys all the time, all I knew how to do was just draw trend lines and blow accounts. That's why I've gotten pretty good. If you guys notice, I draw a lot of trend lines and I like to trade breakouts of trend lines because that's what I mastered. That's what I learned over the years. And so that day, I told myself I'm going to trade gold. I got into gold with a $3,000 account. I used a 3 standard lot. Caught 30 pips, made $900, closed out. It kept dropping. I got in. When I got in, it had already dropped a couple hundred pips. I got in again with a bigger lot size. And guess what it did? It dropped slightly and then it turned around and it ran the opposite direction as fast as possible. And guess what happened? My $3,900 went to negative $70.18 within a matter of minutes. I lost it all. Literally lost it all. All right. So again, you can trade and do what you want. It's your money. I just, I highly recommend you to be cautious trading NFP. All right. NFP the first full week of the first of the month, that first Friday is NFP. You want to be careful trading NFP. If I were you, I'd stay away from it.
Nate, brilliant advice. I don't trade NFP for precisely that reason. I've seen 100 pip 1 minute candles on GBP pairs.
Yeah, I've seen it in amaze. Same thing with gold and indices. I mean, you'll see the same thing there as well. And so I say that to say, be cautious. Don't even risk it. Knowing when not to trade is just actually more important than knowing when to trade. Preserve the capital. So we got about 12 minutes left, guys. So gold, Ripple. So gold, you see gold came back up here near the 62 level and reversing again. All right. Bitcoin playing around. Ethereum playing around. Euro NZD, see it's bouncing back up. Could have gotten that buy, but for me, it didn't sit right. It's not a strong enough buy. All right. I mean, a strong enough sell. So when I like breakthroughs, I like solid, strong breakthroughs. That's not a solid breakthrough for me. That's barely. Now, why is this blue line here? Well, based on this support level right here. You see, price touched it here. The wick touched it there. Another wick right there. Oh, look at all these wicks touch it. So it's a very strong level here. I need price, to break and close below that level in a strong fashion, a strong candle. You see, it didn't close strongly. We actually had a hammer, actually a doji at the bottom. Downtrend doji, shoo, maybe the other way. All right, Euro GBP playing around as well. I've got a feeling Euro GBP is probably going to break to the upside. It's just not trying to break down. Look for it to break out to this wedge, the upside. And I would be looking to take a buy to this level right here. And that's the level right here, right when that last arrow is at. It's where it bottomed out at. See, real flat right there. When you have two candles where the bodies are flat together right there, as you see, that is a level. That's just price forming a level of resistance now because price is below it. All right. Euro USD is coming down. We could see it come all the way back down to the 0 level here. Doji off of the 38. All right. If you took that Doji off the 38, my man who called it out, you are sitting up about 7 pips right now. So 7 pips and about 24 pips more to go. As you can see here, the G pairs got the 4, G Chef, GN, G Odd, and G Cat. G Cat finally started to try to break the zone. G Odd just kind of sitting there. So you can get a break of these zones here. Look out below for those 4, G Odd, G Cat, GN, ZD, and G Chef. All right, GU and GJ, they're playing around. So don't worry about those too much. That's pretty much it, guys. Got about 9 minutes left, so let me see if there are any more questions I can answer.
There's a question in the chat about your bid and ask price on MT4.
Great question. So if you watch the AIRO setup video in the back office, you have the exact same settings I have, which will allow you to get access to both the bid and ask lines. So for purposes here, I'm gonna, what you want to do is you want to right click on the back of the screen. You get this menu list up. You're gonna go to properties. So click on the back of the screen, go to properties, and you get this pop-up box here. All right. Cool. So go ahead, take a screenshot, take a picture of this so that you can then put this in for yourself and have the same settings I have, which will allow you to see both. Right now, you can't see it on Ethereum. They're real close together. But you can see here, here's the settings. Then also you want to go to common and then go ahead and take a screenshot or a picture of this as well. Now, I don't know about you guys, man, but this week has been tough. Pushing me back an extra hour is hurting me a lot more than I thought it would be. I think it made a bigger deal. So we'll go back to colors, take a picture, screenshot of this. And then under common, take a picture or a screenshot of this. All right, now what does that allow you to do? It allows you to your chart now can look like mine, where you see here, red and white line, it's the bid and the ask. BTC, red and white, you got the bid and the ask. If you don't see both, like you hear with Ethereum, I just saw it. They're so close together, like they're almost identical. I like Ethereum because of that. Their bid and ask are like smashed together, all right, which allows for me to be in the profit a lot sooner. So, the lower the spread, the better. Lower the spread, the better. Let's see here, another Q&A. Is GN a valid bag setup? GN, let's go look at GN. GBP NZD. So you have 2 red and 1 green. So yes, technically GN is a valid bag entry. All right. Reason why I didn't take it in the very beginning is because of what I was showing you guys. GI and GCAT are sitting right there at the zones, and then GU and GJ were heading in the opposite direction. So I didn't see the movement of price from all pairs that I liked. Now, does that mean that it's going to always work out that way? No. But you can see here, had we gotten to that trade when it happened, we'd still, we'd be sitting at about 22.5 pips in the drawdown. GBP NZD is the most volatile forex pair out there. Other than don't not including exotics, but out of the forex majors and the crosses, GBP NZD has the highest ADR, so it will move the most pips significantly of all pairs. All right. So keep that in mind. A small move like this right here, backwards, might be like 10 pips on other GBP pairs, but it's double that on GBP NZD. So you want to be careful when you're trading GBP NZD. It just moves different, and in a hurry. It moves a lot different. If you don't believe me, take a look real quick.
Yeah, I don't trade it for that reason. It moves too much.
Oh man, I love it.
I don't know. I'm not used to it.
From the bottom to the top of the money zone is 251 pips. Now let's go to GI. Let's go see GI. Bottom to the top is just 205 pips. All right, same move, wick to wick. GBP NZD was 251. Looks about the same as far as the distance up. GI was 205. Look at that, same move up. Let's check it out. From wick to wick, wick. And go to this wick right here at the top of the money zone. So we'll just stay inside the money zone. That's 194 pips. So again, GBP NZD just moves different. That's 132 pips. GBP NZD, that's almost double. It was 251. All right, so it just moves different, guys. Just moves different. But when it moves, and you can catch some pips. Some people actually call GBP NZD the gold of the forex pairs. Shout out to whoever called out that 38 rejection. Man, that's a beautiful setup. 38 rejection right there. Look at that, no drawdown. You're about 7 pips. That's why I love fibs. Your drawdown is typically very minimal, and your stop loss is very tight, which allows you to use this strategy very consistently on the FTMO account, just from the standpoint of you have to have low risk on there. So very good strategy. Strategy number 8 to use. All right, we got 3 minutes left, guys. Let's take a look. All right, Ethereum trying to break. There we go, Ethereum. I might stay on for a few more minutes just to see if we can get a trade. Same thing with Bitcoin. There we go. Got some movement, finally. Here, GBP trying to break up. Looking for that break above the wedge. Looking for that wedge breakout and potential TP at this blue line here. Your USD negative, G-Chef, not much. GI trying to break the zone. GCAD trying to break the zone again. But what I want to see is Ethereum. Oh, we're almost there, baby. We're almost there. We're almost there. And Bitcoin's coming too. Oh, yeah. I love it. Give it 2 more minutes. Can we get a close? Can we get a close below? We need a close below the blue line. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's get there. All right. We're almost below it. We got 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. See what we can do. You guys don't have me stay on the call longer. Oh, it's below the blue line. Bitcoin is below. All right. Bitcoin below as well. All right. Ethereum is not. Bitcoin is. I might take a trade on both of them, guys. Come on, Ethereum. I like trading Ethereum better. I don't know why. There it is. Ethereum didn't make it. Bitcoin did. How far is that from the zone? 164 pips. All right. Well, before we go, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and take a Bitcoin sell. If you want to jump in the trade, you can with me. I'm taking a Bitcoin sell. I'm just looking to catch 100 pips on it. Probably down to the zone right here, right above the zone. Ethereum, look at Ethereum push. All right. Remember, crypto follows Bitcoin. Crypto follows Bitcoin. All right. All right, guys. Let's get it. Let's get it. Moving good. Moving good. Moving good. Moving good. I like it. I like it. Let's go. Come on, baby. Man, you guys, man, right at the buzzer. Right at the buzzer. Let's go, baby. Come on. Push, 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 push.
All right, I'm gonna hop off and take a little shut eye for a little bit. But thank you so much for having me on, Nate. Really, really got a lot of value out of today, and appreciate you.
Hey man, hey, thanks for jumping on with us, man. Sharing about the fibs and wedges. Hopefully, you got in this Bitcoin trade and you can gain a little bit more on your way out.
No, I'm at the point I've probably overtraded for the day.
Oh yeah.
So I'm focused on something. I'm just focused on the indices for now. So I'm not gonna deviate and get my head around that right now.
Gotcha. All right, man. I may be on the call in the morning. I'm about to go get some shut eye myself. So I'll see you. I'll potentially see you guys in the morning.
All right, boss.
All right, now. Hey, appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, guys. We are in a BTC sale. Looking to snag a couple hundred pips. I got my TP around 200 pips. Yeah, Ethereum pushing nicely. I like that. BTC, let's go, baby. Push, push, push. I'm watching my charts here, so let me stop sharing real quick to answer any questions you guys may have. Come on, Bitcoin, you playing around. Let's go. Drop. You was already dropping. So someone asked when the red and green boxes change color. So great question. So let's say we have this green box here, right? It's a green box. So green means support, right? Green is support. So when price is above it and bouncing off of it, heading up, that's support. Now, if price comes down, breaks this zone, but then comes back and re-triggers the zone from the other side, this zone will pop back up and it will turn red. All right. Let's see if I can find an example real quick. Like right here. You see, this zone was here. You see, this zone was here, way back here. And it was a green zone. The reason I know is because price was above it. All right. And so price came down, touched it. It broke through it. When it broke through it, the zone disappeared. But then guess what? It came back to the zone. Came back down, came back to the zone. Came back down, came back to the zone. Which did what? Re-triggered the same zone, but turned it red now because price is underneath it. All right. That's a good example right there. All right. And we have Bitcoin playing games with us. All right. Bitcoin playing games with us. Need a push down. Let's get a push down. We were in profit. We were only in profit about 50 pips each. All right. Make sure when we're trading crypto, you do not over leverage. All right. Crypto does move differently. Make sure you're not over leveraging. All right, guys. I'm going to call it a night. We're in this trade here. Looking for 100 to 200 pips should be your target when it comes to Bitcoin. All right. Stop loss for you should be wherever you feel comfortable. If you're risking too much, remember, if you're freaking out on this drawdown right now, that just means that you over leverage your account. All right. Trades don't always go straight to where it was at. All right. They don't always go straight to where you want them to go. All right. So if you over leverage, that just means, that's why you're freaking out right now. Make sure that when you trade in crypto, you do not over leverage. All right. Anything you trade, don't over leverage. All right. Yeah, we should see price to head back down this way again. It's the same thing happened with me with earlier today. I was sitting around the same level for about 30, 35 minutes before it finally broke to the downside. So I feel pretty good about this trade. You see the trend line, we broke it strongly. It's tested this level up here over and over again, this resistance level, rejected it finally in a strong manner. So yeah, I'm looking for it to come down. Truthfully, I'm looking for Bitcoin to come down, back down to this level right here, this green zone here. All right. It's probably gonna go up here, retest this trend line, and then turn around back down. That's what I'm looking to see. But if you are going to trade NFP in the morning, make sure that you practice proper risk management. I recommend you don't. But if you do, practice proper risk management. And I guess I'm not showing my chart once again. My apologies, guys, not sharing my screen once again. So on Bitcoin, you see, we're got a little retrace. So if you're over leveraging, we're on a retrace. We were up about 50 pips here. So, we're retracing right now, which is fine. It happens. It's part of the deal. But with Bitcoin, you want to make sure, not just Bitcoin, cryptocurrency and all trading period, do not over leverage. All right. Do not over leverage because price does never go straight in the direction you want it to go. And if you happen to take a loss, you want to make sure that that loss doesn't wipe out all your profits for the day, for the week, or your whole account. All right. So I'm expecting price to come down to this zone, actually to this zone here, over the next few hours. But I've got it slightly here above the zone. You guys know me. I may pull the trigger early because I'm about to go to bed. So as soon as I see some green, I'll probably go ahead and pull the trigger back where we were at because I got two positions. So I'll go ahead and try to snag my 100 pips, two positions at 50 pips, and get out at that point, like kind of where we were at. Other than that, guys, yeah, if you're looking to trade New York session, be careful of the news, which is NFP. NFP is at 7:30 a.m. All right, 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is 8:30 a.m. Eastern. All right, be careful. And I'll see you guys in the funny papers.